Haas is hanging out as he makes a break upfield. Stepping back up. Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Canberra Munster's now putting his balls in Nick Meaney's face.
I have no idea what the waste of water sports is.
Wasted World of Sports, ahoy! How is everybody doing? Welcome along to a very exciting beginning to this weekend of NRL action, because there are a lot of ramifications for finals footy coming up in these games ahead, especially surrounding the top four. The top four positions are still up for grabs. It's definitely going to be Broncos, Panthers, Warriors, Storm. It all comes down to which order they find themselves in. And a lot of that hinges on tonight's game. But before we get into having a little chit-chat about it, welcome along, everybody. Gamer Mel there, ahoy. Vobsy, ahoy. Jason Bourne, ahoy there. Rabbitohs Fan 03, ahoy. If I scroll a little bit further up. Jimmy Lister, ahoy. J. Joe and Mr. Ed's Dead, ahoy there. Welcome along. I've got to do a little bit of advertising first and foremost, but it's good. Stephanie Stay, funny Steph, ahoy there. Because tonight's game, both teams are under strength. I thought, what a great opportunity to promote the Wasted World of Sports under strength t-shirt, available in different colours than the one displayed on the screen. Available pop.tillyouDrop.com.au, the official home of Wasted World of Sports merchandise. Okay, now the shillings out of the way. Welcome along there, Zoe Plays, Farsi. Both teams under strength tonight, which is going to make for an exciting contest. Dan Jam, ahoy there. Mel, ahoy. I'm doing very well, Dan Jam. I'm excited because the Rugby World Cup just around the corner. We are so close. NRL finals just around the corner. We are so close. So, yes, as I was saying at the top, a lot of ramifications for finals football coming up over the course of these next few games. Starting with this one. If Brisbane win, the minor premiership is guaranteed. And if the minor premiership is guaranteed, the Panthers, who are currently in second place, cannot be overtaken by anybody behind them. So therefore, I reckon if the Broncos win tonight, the Panthers have named pretty well a full-strength squad going into their game against the Cowboys. I dare say that if Brisbane win tonight, Ivan Cleary sweeps the changes through that squad, and we see a very, very depleted Panther side, which gives the Cowboys a chance. So the Cowboys are still a chance to get into the top 8. Should the Storm win, the Storm will temporarily, at least, jump above the Warriors on the table. And the Warriors are resting players. They've got players out with injury. They could potentially lose to the Dolphins. And if that happens, both of those games are on before the Panthers. So, if the Storm win tonight, leap above the Warriors lose to the Dolphins, that would leave the Storm in third, Warriors in fourth, and I reckon the Panthers go all out for the minor premiership. Only in that instance. Only. So there are a lot of different ways that this could play out, and it all begins here tonight at... Where are we, by the way? Does anyone know where we are? Because I seem to have forgotten. I feel like it's been ages since we've been here, and I've forgotten what it looks like. So yes, there will be some teams just sitting down the 8. Very excited to see the outcome of this one. I'm sure the Cowboys will be cheering on the Broncos because, as I said, that probably means that the Panthers rest everyone. Trouble with the Panthers, though, is even a complete reserve grade squad is probably going to beat most teams in the competition. Farsi says Bronx. Oh, the living room. Are you talking Are you talking to me saying I'm in my living room? I'm actually in a recording studio, but that's okay. D33S74, welcome along there. Thank you for the follow. Over there on the Twitch. The Twitch. So yes, shameless self-promotion again. I'm getting better at it. That's bad news for everybody. I used to be so horrible at promoting my own stuff. And now I'm getting better at it. It's bad news for the entire chat room. Recording studio. I should actually do for channel members a behind the scenes, a little walkthrough. Well, not so much a walkthrough because you could see the whole room standing still, but Jason Bourne. Oh, Waste to Water Sports All-Stars. Thank you very much to each and every one of you for making this channel possible to grow and provide more content, such as the Generations vodcast that I do every second Wednesday night with my dad. We did a fantastic episode last night. Lots of interesting stuff that my dad had to share about footy in the old days. So, Generations available on the channel if you would like to check it out. All made possible by our VIP All-Stars. Jason Bourne, Justo the Orchestrator, Who's Your Caddy, Kelly, Will, Mr. Ed's Dead, The Knee Crumbler, Robert M, Shack of Hearts, Obi, Farsi, Gamer Mel, Aussie Mozzie, Vopsy, Andrew O'Grady, and Arcade Angel. Hey, wings and hot sauce. Now we're talking. Hey, what if I do a Reaper hot wing for every super chat over a certain amount? That would have to be over a certain amount because I would die. Vopsy says should be on the bench. Farsi says, I only just caught the mental Mick story. Yeah, so there's all sorts of ramifications on tonight's game. I saw somebody mention a same-game multi earlier in the chat room there. This is what I've gone for, just for a little bit of fun. Pappenhausen, Oates, Arthars, and Justin. I couldn't resist putting Justin Olam in the multi because one of the greatest of all-time moments on the stream, in my opinion, was that Justin Olam moment, charging down the sideline on the stroke of full time to put the multi over the line. Hot chip challenge. I'm not really a fan of challenges, to be honest, but I would be open to doing one. I'd be open to it if there was enough demand. Look at the ins and outs. Honestly, so many outs, so many new ins. It's like a brand new team for both, a brand new squad for both sides. Should make for an interesting game, though. The thing that I'm most interested, actually, to keep an eye on, apparently, Thomas Flegler is the captain for the Broncos. That I cannot wait to keep an eye on. Thomas Flegler, captain. I don't know if he's ever had a C next to his name before. Certainly not one that represents captain. There's probably been some choice other words. I'm not sure if it's ever happened before. I didn't think I would ever see the day that Tom Flegler is the captain of a squad. Ivan, ahoy there, mate. Welcome along. Sir Matthew, welcome. I think Storm will win tonight. Opa Murray Isaiah. Welcome along. Oh, welcome back. Oh, welcome along. I thought you'd been here before. But apparently, not. I seem to recognize your name, though. Jason Bourne says it's so ridiculous, Dan, pulling players. Well, it would be ridiculous if I was going around pulling players. I agree. Gamer Mel, hopefully you can stay awake. Hopefully you can indeed. Here comes Thomas Flegler running out onto the field with what can only presumably be his children. Otherwise, he's just found some random kids out in the stand and run them out onto the field. Broncos are out. First NRL game as captain. There we go. Can you believe it? Can you believe that we are actually witnessing Thomas Flegler, captain of a rugby league squad? Yes, indeed, James Jason Bourne, Justin Olam moment incoming. Surely. He's been out for quite some time, as we're all very well of. Back underway. Oh, well, not back underway. We're underway for the first time tonight. God, I'm off to a fantastic start calling this one. It's interesting because this game, under normal circumstances, should have a semi-final feel about it, but it's just not the same tonight with all these replacement players in the squad. Both teams very much under strength. And it is the home side. The home side with first use of the ball. Jack Wora, ahoy there. Welcome along from Papua New Guinea. The return of Justin Olam to the starting squad tonight. I can't wait to see it. I reckon he's going to be fired up and have an absolute blinder. He might even score 2 or 3 tries. The Broncos get through their first set, putting the kick down only as far as Grant Anderson. I'm going to have to look at my screen over here a lot tonight to recognize some of these names. Some very unfamiliar faces out there for both teams, as we've established. Farsi, Michelle has for a very long time been banned from covering Melbourne Storm games because if you've ever got her onto the subject of Melbourne Storm, you'll understand why. She's not allowed Melbourne Storm games. Fifth and last now, speaking of the Storm, Pappenhausen. Another player back, puts the kick in, they stand and let it bounce. The Broncos, risky business. But it bounces kindly for Jesse Arthars, and they avoid embarrassment there in front of their home fans at Suncorp, where we are unbelievably playing this game. And a penalty, Ashley Klein. Ashley Klein blows the first penalty to the home side, as he always does. No matter who's playing. And the Broncos clear up towards halfway on the back of that penalty. She might have to give up her spanner for the game. Maybe. I might have to step in and we'll see how it goes. Because she really dislikes the Melbourne Storm. It is the Broncos, though, with the first opportunity of the night. 30 out from Melbourne's line. Definitely in position for some sort of attacking kick. Who have they got to take the kicking, though? Oh, they might not need to kick. Through the hands they go. Great defense at the end there by the Storm. Fifth and last. Broncos 5 meters out, though. And, oh, don't tell me the captain, Flegler, has just charged over. You know what I always say, if it looks too easy, there's probably some shenanigans that have gone on. No communication there on the goal line for the Storm, and Thomas Flegler, the captain, has just ghosted through. Let's have a look at this on replay. Oh, God, it just opened up. No shenanigans there. Just no communication at the back. Pappenhausen didn't even want any part of that, did he? Ryan Pappenhausen wanted no part. I mean, he was reaching out with his weak shoulder, of course, but he gave up. He completely gave up there, Pappenhausen. Overshot the mark. And Flegler, what a start to his captaincy career. A try on debut as captain, and the first try of the game at that. Thank you, Vopsy. Thank you, Gamer Mel, for pointing that out. And yes, Pappenhausen looks busted already, doesn't he? Vopsy, I blame Pappenhausen. It was probably his fault. Well, you can't blame it all on Pappenhausen, that play. He definitely overran where he needed to be. But those players on the inside racing up, that's where the problem was created. Try confirmed. Conversion from Josh Rogers, whoever that is. Josh Rogers converts. And the Broncos are up 6-0 early here. Oh, who did everybody tip in the Wasted World of Sports tipping contest? I think I went the Broncos. I did go the Broncos. Tom Flegler, an absolute blinding start to the game and to his captaincy career. There's an interesting stat for all our stats people. Has anybody scored a try on debut as captain? That'll be a very interesting fact to find out. Matty Rogers. The Broncos, a dream start for them. 5.5 minutes gone and a 6-point lead. Pappenhausen at the back definitely looks like he's in second gear. He's been playing a lot of QRL. Oh, that's a huge hit in midfield. Who was that? Piacorta. Just bent poor Grant Anderson backwards. And up a little bit too quickly this time, the Broncos, as Ashley Klein keeps that penalty count evened out. Oh, the shoulder. This might be looked at a little closer, and Niakora could find himself on report. Oh, Piakora, sorry. Could find himself on report here in the match review. Yeah, there we go. He's on report now. A shoulder to the face, and very lucky that wasn't seen by the on-field official. Well, maybe not so lucky because it was Ashley Klein, and Ashley Klein sees nothing. Honestly, can anybody... Here's another question for the chat room as Olam charges into the line. Here is a question for the chat room. Has there ever been, in the history of the NRL, a referee as terrible as Ashley Klein that just continuously, regardless of how bad he is, keeps getting all the top jobs? He keeps getting all the big games, and he's just terrible. I don't think he favors... I mean, he has a tendency to favor the home teams, in my opinion, but I don't think he's necessarily biased towards anyone. He just sucks. Storm over the line, held up. Driven backwards on the fifth and last. A chance to strike back. Dummies the kick, does Wishart. Puts it into the in goal. It's going to sit up. Broncos have to make a play at it. And Tyron Wishart, a perfectly placed kick, gets a result for the Storm. Farsi asks, can the Wallabies win Rugby World Cup with John Farnham as they're only 10? I don't think it matters, to be honest, Farsi. The Wallabies can't win the World Cup no matter how many number 10s they trot out there. A shortish dropout attempt from the Broncos. Storm come away with it. Wishart Through the hands out the back line they go. Tonomapea taken down, 5 out. I know Wishart has got a lot of top grade experience off the bench and whatnot, but he's looking very solid out there tonight. Fourth tackle, just settling things down in front of the post is Sims. To the right they go. Pappenhausen's in the line. It's popped out. Was it touched by the Broncos as it dribbles over the sideline? The way that it spilt out the back there suggests that it was tapped forward by the Broncos. But perhaps it was just a loose pass. It was just a terrible pass. Hosea XCI. Ahoy there. And it is Broncos ball. I wonder if Tyron Wishart can kick as well as Rod Wishart. What a great goal kicker Rod Wishart was, huh? For those who remember. An absolute gun goal kicker. So there was no touch there from the Broncos. They're just 1 out up towards the halfway. Quick play the ball here and a great dart from Tyson Smoothie. Back into Storm territory. Madden puts the kick up. Oh, it's perfectly placed. Pressure on Anderson at the back. Yeah, Tristan Sailor is the fullback. Good Lord. Do you want to make yourself feel old? You've got Wendell's son out there. You've got Rod Wishart's son out there. And another penalty now to the Storm. Will says, before my time, but I remember how good Rod was. Yeah, I was looking for Kevy's son, but he's obviously been rested tonight. Rabbitohs fan. There would have been a couple more out there had they been playing. And just running through the Melbourne Storm squad. Cole Geyer, number 21 in the reserves. MG's son, yeah? So you've got Mark Geyer's son, Rod Wishart's son, Wendell Sailor's son. And had he been playing, we would have had Kevy Walters' kid as well. As Melbourne turn the ball over, and it is a very sloppy start from the visiting side. Broncos have it on 0 tackle on halfway, and they get a 6 again. They'll be in great position here. It's still 0 tackle. Space on the outside. They can't get the ball out there. Yes, Farsi, I'm pretty sure that Rod Wishart was a one-club player. It's all right, Michelle. I was just explaining to everybody before the game started that it might be for the best that you don't do a Melbourne Storm game anyway. I think we all understand why. As the Broncos have gone over. Out of nowhere, I'm talking to the chat room, and the Broncos have just gone straight through again, untouched. A huge cutout pass, and literally crawling over the try line is Jordan Pereira. 10 points to 0, the kick to come, and the Broncos dominating. Oh, don't worry about it, Gamer Mel. It's all good. It's all good. It was going to be Broncos Storm, most likely in the finals next week anyway. So it makes sense that both teams under strength tonight. Wasted World of Sports under strength t-shirts now available. pop.tillyouDrop.com.au, the official merchandise home of Wasted World of Sports. Kathy, ahoy there. Welcome along. Go Broncos. Rabbitohs fan, no. Payne Haas has been rested. Reece Walsh has been rested. Pat Carrigan's still not back. Walters is being rested for the Storm. Munster's been rested. Hughes is out. Harry Grant's been rested. Nelson's out. Of course by choice, because what's the point? They're both playing each other next week at Suncorp again anyway. So it made no sense for either team to trot out all their stars this week. Shack of Hearts, ahoy! James Jason Bourne says, do you reckon there's been more winger goal kickers than any other player positions? Yeah, probably. Probably so. Actually, that could be a good one for the old Panther, for our Generations vodcast that's available on the channel. Goal kickers through the years, because back in the early days, most of the goal kickers were forwards. And then it just sort of morphed into the backs as Captain Flegler gets the pop pass away, and the Broncos are just rolling on upfield here. Dominating territory, dominating possession. The ball spills out this time. Has it spilt out legally? Sims tries to pick it up and run away, but the referee has blown his whistle. And there's a little mistake there in midfield by the Broncos. They won't get their kick away. But they are dominating at the moment. Oh yeah, Rabbitohs fan, definitely in rugby union. I believe rugby league also, but definitely in rugby union, there were a lot of forwards. I mean, John Eales was a lock, and he was the goal kicker. It was certainly not uncommon back in the day. Justin Olam's gone on report for something. Hopefully that fires him up. The multi's not looking good at the moment. I'll tell you who's perfect for the NFL now, Farsi. Matt Burton. I would not be surprised. As a matter of fact, they might have even reported on it. I would not be surprised if there are NFL clubs swarming Matt Burton, trying to get him to convert, just waving dollar signs in front of him with that bloody boot he's got. 6 again here for a ruck infringement. And the Storm, they've had their opportunities here, Melbourne. 10 out from the Broncos line again. Wishart plays it. Flat pass to Sims. Sims backs into the defense. Almost breaks through. They're a metre short from the line now. The kick through. Is it going to sit up? It will. And it's a try for Anderson. Oh, bloody hell. Absolutely nobody that I know is scoring tries. TNR sneaks, ahoy. And the Melbourne Storm strike back to make it 12 points to 4. Nikarima put the kick through. It sits up perfectly for Grant Anderson. Oh, was he onside here? Who's that's fallen over? Yes, I believe he was. Well, now, where's the fullback for the Broncos? Reece Walsh would have been there. I think that's fair to say. Reece Walsh would have been perfectly positioned there. Fopsy says Cody Walker could play NFL with the amount of forward passes he throws. I love it. I love it. And Melbourne strike back. 3 Storm players there before any Broncos jersey. And that just wouldn't have happened with Reece Walsh at the back. Sir Matthew says, go Storms, watching from We Whack, PNG. Ryan Pappenhausen, he's taking the kicking. Oh, that's a shocker. Oh, that's a dead set shocker from Ryan Pappenhausen. Welcome back, Paps. 12 points to 4, it remains. That was a disaster of a conversion attempt. $12 points to 4, though. That will ease the nerves a little bit. Oh, back underway. They've let the kickoff bounce, and he was offside as he plays that ball. And that would surely be a penalty to the Broncos, you would think. The Storm need to hurry up and play this ball so that play moves on. Oh, I can only imagine what's going through some heads here. Does he touch it? Grant Anderson is the thing. Has Grant Anderson actually touched it? Maybe that's the call. He possibly... Yes, there we go. I think that's what's happened there. Grant Anderson hasn't actually got contact on that ball. And Melbourne, boy, they get away with murder there. Unbelievable letting that ball bounce. And now picked up and dumped awkwardly. Got to be careful there. Bronson Garlick. Pappenhausen puts it high. Moving forward and taking it on the full. Corey Oates. Stephanie Stay Funny Steph says Eric Sims, best goal kicker. Broncos back into Storm territory. I can't believe they nearly completely bollocks that up from the kickoff there. Oh, your oldest brother told you that? I saw some familiar names in the chat room earlier talking about great goal kickers. The Jason Taylor, Rod Wishart, as the Broncos now shape out to the right, but Tristan Sailor stops, tries to cut back in field a little prematurely. Fifth and last it is. Stacked down this blind side, the Broncos, but it's loose. It's scrappy, and you expect that from two understrength teams. And that was Sharks-like by the Broncos, their fifth tackle option. The problem is, this is essentially a Broncos reserve grade team, and the Sharks do it week in, week out with their top team. Now, I can't believe there's been 3 tries scored and not one single tick on the multi. The old toe pokers. This is definitely going to be a conversation for the Generations Vodcast. Cut out pass. Anderson looking for a double. Anderson plants it down. And the Storm, a double through Grant Anderson. I definitely had the wrong Melbourne Storm players in the multi. Melbourne are back, though. This one could come down to goal kicking. And Ryan Pappenhausen had a dead set shocker first up, didn't he? Yatix Yamari. Go Broncos. Watching from Lay, PNG. Oh, he's put his foot on the... What a goof! Oh, Grant Anderson, he's put his foot on the sideline, and this one is going to be scrubbed out. James Jason Bourne says Mal Meninga was a toe poker. I think that's who Will's talking about, if I'm not mistaken. Smell me finger, Mal Meninga. Grant Anderson has absolutely balls it up. Oh, what a goof. Wasted World of Sports, what a goof t-shirt available. Poptoyourdrop.com.au, the official merchandise home of Wasted World of Sports. Ryan Huri Tuan watching from Moam Army Barracks in PNG. You know what it is? Justin Olam is back in the Melbourne Storm starting squad, and that is bringing all the fans from PNG out. When John, welcome along. They're all here to cheer on their man, big bad Justin O. Fifth and last here, Broncos. The kick down to Anderson. Anderson, you can't keep him out of the game. Grant Anderson. And a try has gone begging in that last set of 6 for the Storm. That is a big mistake. Clinton Kimball, ahoy there, welcome along. Donald Morey, welcome along. James Jason Bourne says Anderson will be dropped next week. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Well, they'll have Big Will Warbrick. The wings tonight are Remus Smith, who usually plays in the centres, and Grant Anderson, who's not even usually in the squad. Will Warbrick will be back. And who's the other Melbourne winger? As Pappenhausen runs it on the 5th and last. Gets the kick away on halfway down to Sailor. And Sailor returns it all of 2 metres before he's crunched by some big middle forwards from the Melbourne Storm. I thought about putting Remus Smith in the multi, James Jason. I very nearly did. I very nearly had Remus Smith instead of Pappenhausen. Flegler with a big charge. He's leading from the front, the big man. His debut game as captain is going very well so far. And surprisingly, he's not been put on report yet. Madden kicks on the 4th. Perfectly positioned at the back. Pappenhausen takes it on the full. Much better effort there. From dummy half goes Nicarima. Picked up and dumped. Tackle 2, Melbourne, 40 out. Tonamapea now with a hit up. James Jason, I picked the Broncos, but I'm cheering for the Storm. Fifth and last. 40 out they are here, Melbourne. Back to Wishart. Wishart puts it high. How's the kick chase? Non-existent, really. And Oates takes that very easily. And he's also caught a little bit high there. Got to be careful there. Up around the neck area. Always dangerous. She's banned from Melbourne games, James Jason. There have been too many Melbourne Storm rants. I think it's safer if she's just not involved in Melbourne Storm games, no matter who they're playing. Fifth and last, Broncos on the attack again. That is a great kick in field. Pappenhausen runs across, covers it off, and runs it over the dead ball line. But for a second there, it looked like it was on for Corey Oates. Jock Madden has put a great kick in there, has he? Or no, it was somebody else. Jeffrey Allura. Good night. Good night from Lahire Gold. Lahire Gold, New Ireland Province in PNG. Thumbs up, Broncos. Welcome along, everybody from Papua New Guinea. As Pappenhausen tries to go short, he's literally booted it into the stands, and here is a gift, 2 points for the Melbourne Storm. A penalty right in, gift 2 points for the Broncos. Take the 2. Wasted Water Sports, take the 2 t-shirt available. You know the drill now. You know the drill. Oh, are they going to take the 2? They're going to tap here, the Broncos. They want more than the 2. They're going to tap. They want to take the try. If they can get it. Oh, it's always a big call. On the attack, Marty Tapau's on. 2 meters out from the line now, Broncos. Madden runs it to the line. Out the back it goes to Rogers, and Rogers is tipped backwards by Olam in the centres. Still Broncos ball. They pass it to the ground. And it is picked up by Ricky. Ricky tries to get on the outside. Tonomapea wraps him up. Broncos, a couple more tackles up their sleeve. Fifth and last now in front of the post. They are 10 out. To the right-hand side they come here. Sailor puts the grubber kick in. It sits up for Papenhuyzen, and Papenhuyzen cannot get back into the field of play. James Jason Bourne asks, did Michelle rip up the rules to the monetized conditions of YouTube? Well, actually, yeah, actually, her return stream, I got a message from YouTube saying your video may not be suitable for all advertisers, and I've gone, oh yeah, that would be all the swearing we did that night. Another short dropout. This time, Paps gets it right. But it's more pressure on the defensive line. Oh, they've got space out to the left. And that is a high shot from Wishart, is it? No, it's up around the shoulders. It is up around the neck. A penalty to the Broncos. They've already shown they're not going to take the 2. More pressure incoming for the Storm. There were holes everywhere out to the left, the Broncos, but deciding to go for the crash ball instead. Papenhuyzen arranging the defense here on the goal line. More pressure. There are a lot of gaps. 2 out from the ruck, both sides of the Melbourne Storm defence. And there is the mistake to Powell. Looks for the pop pass, and Jensen spills it forward. And Melbourne survive. No damage done. And I wonder if now the Broncos will be regretting not taking the 2 points, the gift 2 points that were on offer. And instead of 14-4 guaranteed, they're walking away from Melbourne Storm's end of the field. Only the 8-point lead still intact. And of course it should be less, but for Grant Anderson stepping on the sideline. And that is huge from the visitors. Melbourne holding on. 5th and last, 35 out Wishart. Midfield puts it high. A much better kick chase this time. Pressure on Sailor. Sailor does well at the back, takes it and surrenders immediately. Noel Apet, diehard Bronco from Wewak. Wewak or we wow? Or we walk? We walk. James Jason, I think, suggested perhaps we walk. I don't know. No one's corrected me yet. Which doesn't mean I'm right, as Tristan Sailor beats the first tackle, keeps his feet, gets the offload away to Powell, offloads back to Sailor, huge cutout pass out wide to the left, and here goes, here go the Broncos, I don't know who that is, sorry. Oates goes close to the sideline, flicks it back in field, and Piakora can't pick it up, and it was Delouise Hoeter, whoever that is, that caught the ball. That was started by Tristan Sailor, though. That was all Tristan Sailor. Perfect pass there to Hoeter. Hoeter out to the left to Oates. Oates too close to the sideline, though. Back in field was probably the option there. And Melbourne, they're only just holding on. Absolutely, Kathy, they should have taken the 2. They should definitely have taken the 2. Oh, come on. 9 minutes to go until halftime and not a single tick on the multi. Which is quite common this year, isn't it? The Maltese have not been going well, to say the least. Melbourne with the ball. 40 out from their own line. Meters hard to come by. Pappenhausen here in the line to Tonomapea. Anderson. No space. Look at the Broncos jerseys there. Fifth and last. Wishart kicking from inside his own territory. Sailor takes it under no pressure at the back. Fires a ridiculous pass along to Oates that bounces. And that was a bit of an unnecessary risk, to say the least, from the Broncos. Dan Jam says for the World Cup, the call should be take the 2+1. I like it. Hometown music, Vincent Spears, ahoy. Who do you reckon we've got first week of the finals, Vincent? I reckon it might just be the Roosters as the Broncos charge back into Melbourne territory. Fifth and last. 30 out. They go blindside play. Madden looking for the cutout pass. Madden. It's been intercepted by Anderson. And as long as he doesn't step on the sideline this time, he's going to score his double. Grant Anderson has just picked that one off. Jock Madden put it right in the breadbasket. And this time, Grant Anderson goes nowhere near the sideline. 7.5 minutes to go till halftime, and Melbourne are back in this one. Oh, you could see him lining that one up from a mile away. Grant Anderson, he was all over that. And look at that, he's going nowhere near that sideline. Not again. Not again. Not twice in one game. And Jock Madden with a Cody Walker special there, right into the chest of Grant Anderson. And they've essentially gone the length of the field there, the Storm. 12 points to 8. Oh, Wendell's up. Big Dell's up. He can't stand it. It's all right, mate. It wasn't your kid that threw the pass. Will says he's got some toe, that boy. Stephanie Stay Funny Steph acknowledges quality players. A conversation there about Ryan Pappenhausen. Quality players with bollocks haircuts. Grant Anderson gets his double. To think it could easily have been a hat-trick. Grant Anderson, did anyone have him in the multi? I think so too, Shekavaz. Pappenhausen this time puts it right down the middle. I haven't had a haircut in a year and a half, James Jason Bourne. Christopher watching all the way from Simbu, Papua New Guinea. Mark Moers says pronunciation of Pappenhausen is wrong. It's a South African surname. I pronounce everybody's name wrong, sometimes on purpose, Mark Moers, so it's all good. Viking Axe, ahoy! It started off for me, I'm sure I've told the story before on the stream, that I'm sure I've told the story on stream before about how my hairdresser retired, and then I've just, ever since she retired, I've not trusted anybody else to do my mohawk, so the mohawk just kind of, here I am now, ponytailing it up. Or would you call this a ponytail? I don't know. But anyways, I haven't had my hair cut since she retired. PNG. We've got to at least get Justin Olam over the try line for all the supporters in Papua New Guinea. Tapau up towards halfway as the Broncos have the ball back. Remus has to score. Remus Smith has to score for James Jason Bourne. 12 points to 10 it is in favour of the Broncos here. 4.5 minutes to go until the halftime break. Remus Smith, speak of the devil, takes the kick and brings it back for Melbourne. Susan Sabona, welcome along there. PNG representing Papua New Guinea out in force tonight. Storm, get the offload away. A gap opens up down the middle. Are they going to go all the way here? Goose step. Pappenhausen in support. Paps steps around the outside. He doesn't back himself to go for the corner. Gets the offload away. Oh, and please don't tell me that Falogo, please don't tell me he bounced that ball. Oh, come on. Pappenhausen was in there. A fully fit Ryan Pappenhausen scores there. He did not back himself. He didn't back himself to get there, and that is a sign that Paps is not 100%. But look at this break here. To be fair, old mate Falogo, he deserved the try because he started it all. I reckon Pappenhausen puts the head down and burns Sailor on the outside earlier in the season. But don't tell me he's bounced this ball. Have Melbourne left another one out there? For the corner. Scores the try. We need to look at the sideline, though, here. But honestly, let's watch the sideline. Don't tell me. Oh, millimeters in it. And Melbourne will go into halftime with the lead. What about the goose step? Yeah. Sua Fa'alogo. Try on NRL debut. Once again, that was out of absolutely nowhere. They had him covered off here, the Broncos. He's just gone. He's looked up. He's spotted a couple of lazy forwards in midfield, and he's just gone bang. And here, right here, Pappenhausen backs himself in most cases there. He's obviously only just back from long-term injury, so I can understand it. And also, the young fella deserved the try as well. He started that play. He deserved to finish it off. I thought he ballsed it up at the end. I really did. But no, he's done just enough to get it down. And Pappenhausen, from the sideline, hooks this one way too far across the face of the post. And 14 points to 12 it is in favour of the Storm. And they could potentially be going into halftime with a lead here. And how crucial now does that 2-point gift penalty from right in front of the post, the Broncos knocked back? How crucial is that right about now? I'm only upset about Pappenhausen not backing himself because that would have been at least one tick of the multi done. Now we've got none. We're stuck on 0. Broncos get us back underway, and it is to the try scorer, Fa'alogo. It was fabulous, wasn't it, James Jason? Bamboozled everyone. It almost bamboozled Paps as well. He was, at that moment, he was ready to cut back in the other way. He fell for it as well. Now they've got some momentum behind them here, Melbourne. 1.5 minutes until the break. Some momentum, some confidence. Spreading the ball wide on tackle 4. Blindside they go. Paps puts it high. Oh, it's dangerously close to the sideline. And as a matter of fact, it's over. And the Broncos can bring it back to where it was kicked. And they will have a few tackles here to try and steal this lead back going into the break. One minute exactly left on the clock until halftime. The Storm will look to slow this down as much as possible. Up over halfway, though, the Broncos, they'll have a couple more tackles at it. It's opened up here on the right for the Broncos. Loose pass, though. It goes to ground. Pereira picks it up, keeps it alive. Sailor back in support. They've still got a tackle or two up their sleeves here, the Broncos. No need to panic. 26 seconds to go. Tapau just settles things down in midfield. All right, this will be it, probably. The last play of the half. Madden fires the cutout pass. It's been tapped on by Arthars. Picked up and kept alive by Pereira. Madden with the second kick. Pappenhausen, he just taps it dead. And that will take us into the break. The Melbourne Storm just easing into their game here. And they walk into halftime with a very unexpected 2-point lead. Ever since the Broncos scored those first two tries, Melbourne really turned it around. They dominated the back end of that half. I stand by that the minor premiership really means nothing anyway, to be honest, James Jason. That was my personal opinion for quite a few weeks going into this game, going into this round. I said I don't really think anyone cares about the minor premiership that much. Although, I dare say, should the Warriors, if Melbourne go on and win this game and the Warriors lose to the Dolphins, I think that the Panthers might care about winning their game in that instance, and that instance only. Because you want, no offense to the Warriors, but if you had to choose, do you want a full strength Melbourne in week 1 of the finals, or do you want the Warriors? But anyways, this has been an exciting contest for both teams that are under strength. Under strength, Wasted Water Sports t-shirt available. Pop to yourdrop.com.au, the official merchandise home of Wasted Water Sports. There are other colour options available. There are other shirts available. There's the What a Goof t-shirt. You've probably heard me say that a few times tonight. And there's the Take the Two t-shirt, which you've definitely heard me say a few times tonight. And I'm sure that there'll be more t-shirts coming, the more random stuff that pops up on the streams, especially with the Rugby World Cup just around the corner and finals just around the corner as well. NRL finals and the Rugby World Cup. I'm very much looking forward to that. That is going to be a big, what does it go for? A month or two of rugby action. Goma Milan. Go Storm. I'm going to watch all the way from Papua New Guinea. Welcome along. Samuel Andrew. Ahoy, welcome along. Will asks, actually, can you recall all the minor premiers in the last 10 years? Well, to be fair, I can't even recall all the premiers in the last 10 years. So, no. Hosea XCI, how do you see Warriors versus Dolphins going? I think the Warriors, Luke Metcalf is a very big absence. Sean Johnson as well. They're essentially going to be playing the game. Sean Johnson's been rested. Metcalf is out injured. So they are essentially playing the game with a brand new halves combination. So stepping in is Tamare Martin and Ronald Volkman against a very settled Sean O'Sullivan and Cody Nikorima. I think it's a big call by the Warriors to rest Sean Johnson. Some teams have the depth to be able to rest players at the back end of the year. I think the Warriors, honestly, they probably don't care who they're going to play. The Warriors, they're either going to be travelling to play Penrith, travelling to play the Broncos. They're probably looking at that and going, who really cares which one it is? Let's rest up. Because look who's out. Fanua Blake's been rested. Nickel Clockstad out. Wateni Zalesniak out. Metcalf out. Johnson out. Tohu Harris out. Wade Egan out. So I think it'll be a challenge for them. But I don't think it matters either way. I think the smart thing to do is to rest your players before the finals. Zed Rath vibes. It is half time here. 14 points to 12 in favour of the Melbourne Storm. Who were the last premiers for the last 5 years? Well, I know that the Panthers have won the last 2. And it would have been the Storm before them. So that's 3. I know who the premiers were in 2016. All right, Wasted World of Sports. I'm going to have a quick break for half time. I'll be back to cover off all the action and preview the second half right after this. Thank you so much for your company thus far. We shall be right back. All right, Waste to World of Sports. Welcome back. Halftime here. 14 points to 12. Melbourne really turned it around after a fast start from the home team, the Brisbane Broncos. So there seems to be a conversation in the chat room about who's going to play who in the finals. And yes, it is, as Will points out, 1 verse 4, 2 verse 3, 5 verse 8, 6 verse 7. And the way that it's shaping up at the moment, should the Melbourne Storm go on to win, they will leapfrog the Warriors, temporarily at least, on the table into third spot. And as we're looking at this Warriors squad resting this week, the Warriors resting Fanua Blake, Nickel Clockstad, Wateni Zalesniak, Metcalf's out injured, Sean Johnson being rested, Tohu Harris and Wade Egan being rested. That is a big chunk of their squad missing. So I should imagine that they're resting up just to load up for an all-out assault, whether they'll be playing the Panthers or the Broncos. They're resting up all their key players so that they're fresh for the first week of the finals, and they'll go all out in that game against the Panthers or the Broncos. Should the Storm win tonight and the Warriors lose to the Dolphins, then I can imagine the Panthers go all out and try and win that game against the Cowboys. If the Broncos hold on here tonight and sneak away with the win, then I imagine the Panthers rest even more players than they've already named to be rested out of their squad, and the Cowboys become a real chance to sneak into the 8. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Try scorers in this game. Goma Milan. Try scorers in this game. Pretty much for the Storm, Grant Anderson scored 2 of the 3. And Fa'alongo scored the 3rd one. For the Broncos, Thomas Flegler and Jordan Pereira, the try scorers. So 3 tries to 2 at the moment in favour of the Storm. It was all the Broncos early, wasn't it? Captain for tonight, Thomas Flegler, had an absolute dream start to his captaincy career, scoring a try in the 3rd minute. And then they followed up Jordan Pereira with a try in the 12th minute, and the Broncos raced out to a 12 points to 0 lead. Grant Anderson hit back 4 minutes later. Pappenhausen missed the conversion. It was 12 points to 4. The Storm went over again. Anderson, but he put his foot on the sideline. The try was scrubbed out. He finally got his double in the 32nd minute. Jock Madden threw the pass, the bullet pass, straight to his chest. He intercepted and ran away the length of the field, pretty much. Storm were back, and then the try in the 36th minute to put the Storm ahead going into the halftime break, very unexpectedly, in my opinion. Hosea XCI, do I follow UFC? I will watch sometimes if there's a matchup that I'm interested in, but I certainly wouldn't say I follow it. You met Dan Hooker yesterday. The nicest, coolest bloke. Yeah, there's something about the name Dan. Pretty cool fellas. As the Broncos now come out for the second half. The Storm are already out. Broncos out now. Just 2 points the difference here between these two understrength teams. Goma says, seems like Panthers and Broncos don't want to win the minor premiership. Yeah, I really don't think it's that important. Absolutely no offense to the Warriors, but both teams probably would rather face the Warriors in week 1 of the finals than a fully fit full strength Storm. Stephanie Stay Funny Steph says that Eric Sims goal kicker I mentioned earlier, he was the reason they changed the field goal from 2 points to 1. So he must have been one of the best. Absolutely, my dad can tell you all about Eric Sims. How he completely changed the face of the game. Melbourne with first use of the ball in the second half. Can they keep their record at Suncorp Stadium intact? Pappenhausen puts it high. Sailor, no pressure on him at the back. Dan's the man. I'll drink to that. Dan's are the man. Apunga Creation. Thanks, Waste to Water Sports, for the stream. Not a problem. Broncos now 5th and last. Oh, Tapau gets the offload away. Beware the second phase ball here, Melbourne. But no, they make their tackles. And Madden is forced to kick here on the 5th and last. Pressure on the kick chase. Broncos come down with it. Sailor pops it out. And it's going to be a try for Pereira. Pereira gets a double, does he? All right. Everyone in the multi is on the wrong side of the field. And the Broncos, just like they did in the first half, they have struck early in the second as well. They retake the lead. Oh, they might still need that too at the end of the game, Will. It's about 37 minutes, 50 seconds too early to be celebrating. I know you're not celebrating, but I'm just suggesting it's a bit early to say they don't need that 2 points. You cheeky bugger. Oh, sorry. Okay. I didn't realize clapping my hands like that randomly would absolutely scare the bollocks off my dog. Ah. Did someone get a fright? Someone got a fright? I suppose when you think about it, I don't clap very often, do I? Probably really took her by surprise. Oh, I look forward to finals time. Finals time, obviously here at the Waste to World of Sports, there's a lot of banter. It's all in good spirits. I can guarantee that there might be some offended people. People will be a lot more tense come finals time, as Madden just shaves the far upright. And it's another 2 points for the Broncos, 18 points to 14. They go back in front. Yes, I can guarantee a lot more unintentional hurt feelings as the finals roll on. It happens. It happens. Back underway. The Broncos let the kickoff bounce this time. Both teams flirting with danger at kickoff time. But it is the Broncos back on top here. They must have gotten absolute ribbing from Kevy at halftime, because they've come out with a lot of enthusiasm here in the second half. Much like they started the game, the Broncos. Can they keep it up for the full 40? This time, Rogers steps back in field. Can't quite beat the tackle. But look at the field position here. Madden kicks from 40 out. Another very enthusiastic kick chase. This time, though, a little bit... Oh! It's a penalty to the Broncos. Okay, surely you take the 2 now. Go back, take it out to a 6-point lead. It's a penalty to the Broncos. You can only assume it's for an escort. And surely you take the 2 in this situation. Put it back out to a 6-point lead. Jock Bannon's all over it. He understands what needs to be done. Jock Bannon must be the captain with Flegler having a rest. I'm assuming. He was the one waving his fingers around. They're listening to him. It makes sense, Will. It makes sense in this scenario. I can understand. Like, I was just using my catchphrase before. The 2 points back then was only going to make it a 10-point margin. Doesn't really accomplish much. It makes a lot of sense in this instance, even though it's a much more difficult kick. Take the 2, go out to a converted try lead. Sometimes I just say it because it's my catchphrase, but this actually makes a lot of sense, especially when you've got Rogers kicking at 100% tonight, and he's put a couple of difficult ones over. And he hooks this one around as well. Josh Rogers channeling all the greats, the Rod Wisharts, the Daryl Halligans, the Jason Taylors, the Hazem El Masris. And he fires another one down the middle, and there we go. They take the 2. And the Broncos push that out to a 6-point lead. He's a good lass. I'm glad you corrected that. He's the good lass there, young Josh. He's a good lad. And the Broncos dominating the second half. I think Melbourne have only touched the ball once, and that was from the kickoff. They definitely got an absolute balls in from Kevy at halftime. Oh, and now a little leg injury here. Who's that? Who's that and what happened? Fell awkwardly, I guess. Oh, the lights have gone out! Did the lights just go out at the stadium? That was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Anyways, he's back up and it's play. The lights did go out in the stadium. That's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Stay funny, Steph says all white jerseys, shorts, teams lose their power. My belief. Para, Storm, Doggies. Not all white, because when they did it, they used to have the black shorts. But yes, the All Blacks, when they switched to their alternate strip and it was all white, they never performed as well in that white jersey. Maybe you're onto something there. Oh, that ball spills out. Surely that was forward. Melbourne come away with it, though. Tackle 3, 40 out from their own line. Finding meters hard to come by. And that is a huge hit in midfield by Tapau. Lined him up and bent him backwards. Tackle off the ball here. Should be a penalty to the Storm. Oh, and he's been folded in half in back play. Tackled on suspicion. The try scorer, Fa'alogo. Oh, he was put the shoulder in. Broken his ribs. It was a great hit from Piakora. Piakora, I believe, is already on report tonight. If I'm not mistaken, he's already on report. Is he going to be on report again for the tackle off the ball? He really folded him. And Fa'alogo is not in a good way. He's on report again. Pia Quarter, the second time tonight. Flegler seems to be safe because the captaincy seems to be protecting Flegler. Because usually we see Flegler get multiple times on report in the one game. But he's done well tonight. He's avoided all suspicion. And that has drifted over to Pia Quarter. Second time, I'm pretty sure, on report tonight. And it is a penalty to Melbourne. A full set of 6 now in Broncos territory. 6 points the margin. And the way Pappenhausen's... Oh, crunching tackle in midfield. Ricky, was it? Jordan Ricky absolutely lined him up and folded him backwards. And now Sims, is it? Josh King drops the ball. Big mistake there. And the Broncos high-fiving, back-slapping. They're up for this in the second half, the home team. Six points the difference. Big defense from the home team, defending their goal line valiantly. A win for the Broncos guarantees the minor premiership and guarantees a rematch against the Melbourne Storm next week, week 1 of the final series. A win for Melbourne throws everything into a little bit of jeopardy as far as the top 4 goes. Bringing it out of territory now, the Broncos to Powell. Great leg drive, great post-contact meters. Up towards halfway. They stay on the blind side. Near quarter. Gets it stripped. Storm come away with it. Zero tackle. Melbourne back in territory. Another chance here. Vobsy says Olam to score a last-minute try that takes them to Golden Point. You're from the future. Now, shape out to the left. Melbourne, get the offload away. Fa'alogo. Support from Wishart. Wishart, dummies, gets all mixed up. Must surrender there, Wishart, and does well. Tackles up their sleeve, though, Melbourne. Slow play the ball off the surrender. Pappenhausen. The inside pass to McDonald. What can they come up with? Fifth and last, settling it in front of the post. Options left and right. Wishart, they go... Oh, Wishart, dummies, goes on his own. Is surely obstructed there, Wishart, but Sailor comes away with it. Pappenhausen looking for the one-on-one strip. Can't do it. Sailor holds on. And the Broncos survive that threat and continue to dominate this second half. Poor Pappenhausen, he's not going to get the full 80, is he? Not a chance. Gordon Green, ahoy! Fifth and last here, Broncos back in Storm territory. Another good kick chase. Pressure on Anderson, but he does well. Takes it down. Grant Anderson. Olam, straight over the top of one. Still going, Justin Olam. Holds his feet. England not doing well in the white jersey, says Dan Jam. Yeah, I suspect they'll be not necessarily a threat, but I suspect they'll be okay come World Cup time. I think they will do exactly what's expected of them. Avea Tauta, great Broncos, fifth and last here Storm. This is a much better kick chase from Melbourne. Pressure, and taken well at the back by Pereira, who is having an absolute blinder, it must be said. Pereira having a great game, scoring tries, diffusing bombs. Broncos holding on to their 6-point lead. Plenty of time left in this game, though. Fifth and last, Broncos on halfway. Back to Madden. Madden's been kicking very well in the absence of Josh Reynolds. I mean, Adam Reynolds. Josh Reynolds? My God. Well, they're all reserve graders, Michelle. They're all reserve graders. They're not used to the intensity. Tackle 4 now, Melbourne. I'm saying they're playing to the best of their ability. For a lot of these guys, it is their absolute first NRL game. Oh, Wishart steps inside. Where's the support? It's Pappenhausen. Pappenhausen scores. And Tyron Wishart sets that up. Bamboozles the defense. Oh, James Jason, we've seen another glorious step from a Melbourne Storm player. And we're about to be all square again. And Pappenhausen, it looks absolutely spent. Tyron Wishart, oh, he's just made a complete fool out of Smoothie. That is an ankle breaker and a half there from Wishart. Finally, a tick on the multi. We're about to be all square here. Surely, even Pappenhausen on his worst day can't miss from right in front. I might have just jinxed him, though. Who's your caddy? Ahoy there, mate. Yes, exactly. It's kind of like watching trial games at the start of the year. There were honestly like 72 regular starting players out for this game. Both teams under strength. Wasted World of Sports under strength t-shirt and much more available from poptillyouDrop.com.au, the official merchandise home of the Wasted World of Sports. Shakafart says myself and Vobsy are humouring each other about the Rift storyline. He says he's from the future. We did. Well, I did. I figured it out. It's all good. And the shirt has been purchased and organised. Our very first sale was a striking red version of the Take the Two Wasted World of Sports t-shirt. And it's going all the way to New Zealand, I believe. Our very first sale from across the ditch in Kiwiland. 20 points all. Conversion successful, as you would expect from that close range. Everyone's being rested, Noel. Both coaches resting all the star players because both these teams are likely playing each other next week anyway. So there is a 99% chance that both of these teams match up again next week at Suncorp in week 1 of the finals. So There was absolutely no point playing all the superstars as Melbourne threatened a breakthrough. Just taken down by the Pants. Fifth and last kick in. The momentum has shifted again in this game. Sailor at the back beats the first tackle, beats the second tackle, beats the third tackle. He's still going. Up over halfway, beats the fourth. Oh, somebody put him down. Oh, Wendell Sailor must be going ballistic in the stands. Get the camera on him. And now a penalty to the Broncos and 10 in the bin. Josh King is being sent here for holding down the second effort. Oh, it's Remus Smith. Josh King must be the captain. Remus Smith is being marched for 10, holding Sailor down. Oh, somebody get the camera on Big Dell in the stands, please. Please. Come on. We need to see that. We need to see Wendell's reaction in the grandstand. Tristan Sailor has just gone through 4 Melbourne Storm defenders. They've got the penalty. Take the 2. You've got to take a shot at the 2 here, surely. There he is. It's a bit late now. I wanted to see his reaction before. Yes, peace, Big Dell. Peace. Is it me or is Wendell just like even bigger now than when he played? He's an even bigger unit than when he was in his prime. They are indeed taking the 2. Oh, Will, it's like I'm the coach. They are listening to me. Well, why wouldn't you? Josh Rogers, 100% so far tonight. Kicking like it's a rugby union game, and he puts another one right down the middle. Josh Rogers. Does he honestly have a rugby union background? Josh Rogers? He's kicking conversions like it's rugby union. Right down the middle every single time. $22 points to 20. Melbourne with a man in the sin bin for the next 10 minutes. That is one packed coach's box for the Brisbane Broncos. And does that guy have a lollipop? There's some creepy fella outside the coach's box looking in with a lollipop. It's the most terrifying thing. Imagine if you turned around and saw that. That'd really put you off your game. But anyways, the Broncos have wrestled some momentum back here off the back of that charge from Tristan Sailor. What a run. We are getting to see some of the next generation coming through here tonight. It's great. And the Broncos are away again now. Arthars. Oh, no, it's Hoeter. Hoeter's away. He's taken down. Back to the 40-metre line of the Melbourne Storm. Flegler's back on the field. Having a great game on debut as captain. Blake Lyons, ahoy. Fifth and last, Madden. Another great kick. The kick chase is solid again, but this time they come away with it, Melbourne. Two points the difference. Gordon Green asks, what does sin bin mean? It's when you have an active foul play on the field. Hang on. Terran Wishart nearly busts through again. He's had a great game, Terran Wishart. Tackle 3. Storm kick. He's been taken out, but it's been cleared by Ashley Klein. And I guarantee that would not have been cleared if the game was in Melbourne. Ashley Klein is a legendary homer. Yeah, so Gordon Green, if you commit an act of foul play on the field that warrants it, the referee sends you to the sin bin for 10 minutes or off completely. And Remus Smith was given 10 minutes in the sin bin for foul play earlier as Hoeter again beats the first up tackle. And the Broncos are just dominating here down this left-hand edge. Flegler spills the ball. Tom Flegler. That was a massive hit. And Flegler spills his beans. Olam now with the charge. Justin Olam to score a try. Come on, let's see it happen. Let's get it there. Tackle 3, Pappenhausen from inside the 40. Sailor's kicked it forward. There was absolutely no threat of a 40-20. Sailor, oh, he slips. He slips, and that has stolen a potential exciting run from Tristan Sailor upfield. But Pappenhausen, the kick on tackle 3, in behind the line, there was absolutely no threat of a 40-20. Game of Mel, you need to sleep, but you can't. It's too exciting, right? Way too exciting. 17 minutes, 39 seconds to go and counting. And now space again down this edge for the Broncos. But a huge hit from Tarek Sims. Oh, and he's letting him know about it as well, Sims. Letting him know about it. Flegler in a playmaker. Now space out to the right, but another loose pass from the Broncos. Brings that little sequence to an end. Kick in behind the line. It sits up. Fa'alogo to return it. Trying to step back inside. Can't. And the Storm, oh, he's appealing for a crusher. I think that appeal will fall on deaf ears. Deaf, bald ears of Ashley Klein. A good dart from dummy half from Nikarima. And that's some meters for Melbourne. Tackle 3. Olam with another hit up. Runs straight into Flegler. Probably not the best idea. 3 minutes, 52 seconds for Smith in the bin. Melbourne will just be looking to get through this next few minutes with no more damage done. Pappenhausen puts the kick in behind. It pops up nicely for Oates. And Oates just goes to contact. 16 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Broncos holding on to that 2-point lead. They need Jock Madden to not throw his Cody Walker specials anymore. And they should be right here. Should be right. Tackle 4, up towards halfway they go. Just a real settling set of 6 here from the Bronx. Nothing really doing. Not really trying anything either. They're just trying to get through it. Blindside. Madden puts it high. They're really going after Fa'alogo with the kicks. He's putting that goose step on, but this time, nowhere to go. And Rogers takes him down. I would love to know, Broncos fans, I would love a little bit more backstory if you've got one on Josh Rogers. The way that he is kicking goals, I'm suspecting he played rugby in his juniors. That's straight through, up the middle, and a big charge goes. Moroa. I don't know what his name is. I'm guessing Moroa. What a huge burst that was. Straight up the middle. So many players here, I don't know their names. So I'm just guessing. Fifth and last, back to Pappenhausen. I don't understand why Pappenhausen is kicking in general play when Wishart is still out there. And it's another nothing kick. The kicks have been so much better with Wishart. We must be honest about that. Wishart kicking a lot better. Broncos, though, 14 minutes they've got. Hold on, what a run that was. Moroa I don't know what his name is. He's a big unit anyway, and he went straight down the middle. And the Broncos have just kind of gone into their shell a little bit here. The last few sets of 6, not really trying anything, not really going anywhere. Madden from well inside the 40 gets good purchase on it. And Anderson does well to hold on. He's going to fire this across to Faulogo. Fatigue, you reckon, Michelle? But I thought that they would have been up for this opportunity to prove themselves at NRL level. Samuel Andrew, ahoy there, welcome along. "13 minutes to go in this one. Melbourne back into Broncos territory. Oh, Apunga creation. What's your opinion? Who will win? Oh, it's too early to call. Although if Melbourne keep letting Pappenhausen kick, although that's a perfectly placed one, the Broncos let it bounce, and that will be offside potentially of Jock Madden. It's called a knock on. Well, if that's a knock on and Jock Madden's picked it up, then surely he's offside. And it is. There's the penalty, and Melbourne will surely take the 2 here to square it up. Oh, no, he's just calling scrum. Never mind. I thought he'd changed it into a penalty, Ashley Klein. But he hasn't. He's just... Well, if that's a knock-on, then Madden's offside when he's played that ball. I can only assume in that case he's called... It's been knocked on into a Melbourne player. That's the only thing that gets the Broncos away with that one. Shanice Wapani, let's go Storm. Anyway, either way, it's Melbourne ball. Melbourne will have the scrum. 10 out in front. And here they go. Wishart feeds. Pappenhausen dancing around, fooling nobody. He's picked up and driven backwards as little Paps. Oh, there's the big unit again. Boogs, ahoy there, mate. Welcome along. 6 again to the Storm. Can they strike? Back infield on the angle goes Bronson Garlick. They're a metre out here. Dummy in the crash ball. Pappenhausen out the back. Tonomapea with the pass. And this will be a try for Remus Smith. He's only just come on the field, Remus Smith. He's back on the field from the sin bin, and he is letting the Broncos know about it in the corner. There you go, James. Where's James Jason? James Jason Bourne had Remus Smith in the multi, and there he goes, and he is letting the Broncos know about it as well. Tonomapea, the no-look pass. Smith, 1, 2, 3. Over he goes to score in the corner. Shack of Hearts, Remus Smith was sin bin since when? Since 11 minutes ago. Craig Bellamy's not happy. Of course you guys thought it was a double movement. Why would I not be surprised by that? Absolutely nobody's holding on to him. What's his face there? Piakora. Piakora's got hold of the ball, not Remus Smith. If Piakora has his arm on Remus, not on the ball, then potentially it's a double movement. He's got his hand on the ball, not on the player. Therefore, he's well within his rights to reach out and put that one over in the corner to put Melbourne ahead by 2 points. And Will, we're approaching the last 10 minutes of the game, and that early penalty they knocked back is suddenly looking potentially game-changing. Pappenhausen from the sideline, though, he's made a fool of me because he's kicked his first difficult one of the night. So never mind, the 2 points wouldn't have made a difference. Conversion successful. Melbourne up 26-22. 10 minutes to go. Back underway we go. Oh, I told you, Michelle, you are banned from Melbourne Storm games. Charlie Salo, Broncos go, let's go. Shack of Heart says, honestly, at this point, who really cares who wins? The game is nothing more than an audition for next week. Exactly, but it's still fun to watch, isn't it? It's still exciting to be part of a close, hard-fought contest. As Melbourne have gone all the way up to the Broncos 40, back to Wishart. Wishart, unsurprisingly, puts a much better kick in than Pappenhausen. It's taken to the back by Sailor, and Sailor beats the first tackle again. He's going dangerously close to the sideline now, and that is a big balls up from the Broncos. And Melbourne, leading by 4, 8 minutes 46 to go, are going to have a full set of 6. 25 out from the Broncos line. What a goof. Good call, James Jason Bourne. What a goof. Hang on, where's the channel members only goofy emoji? There it is. What a goof. He ran at Justin Olam, Michelle. He was very close to the sideline. You have to be smart enough as a player to realize that. I'm running towards a guy who could flick me across the sideline from here. Storm with good shape out to the left. Dummy and going on his own as Faulongo gets a double. And the Storm extend their lead. 30 points to 22, and it's a double for Faulongo. And Melbourne, much like the first half, the Broncos started the first half dominant. And Melbourne just ran them down at the back end. And here in the second half as well, the Broncos exploded out of the gates in the second half. And Melbourne have just eased into their game, and they've just finished over the top of them. Another try for Faulongo. I've had only Ryan Pappenhausen in the same game multi. And with 7 minutes to go, that could very well be the game. There is still time, though. Broncos supporters, do not give up. There is still time. Don't you worry. The way that this game has gone, as the try is confirmed in the corner. Who missed that tackle out there? That was disastrous. Jesse Arthars. Oh, Jesse Arthars couldn't hold on to the pants of Faulongo. Samuel Andrews says, go Melbourne. Six and a half minutes to go. There is still time. James Jason Bourne says Melbourne are a more conditioned team. Pappenhausen from the sideline. Oh, he's found his kicking boots, Paps. And that was a very important kick. 32 points to 22. 6 minutes 18 to go. And the Melbourne Storm, they just continue to love playing at Suncorp Stadium. For whatever reason, they just love it. Oh, James Jason, same game multi-1. Yes. Good job. Who else did you have? You had Remus Smith, I know that. Remus Smith. Broncos go short. Pappenhausen comes down with it. 6 minutes to go. 10 points the difference. A Craig Bellamy coach team you would expect to just control the flow of the game for the next 6 minutes. Oh, Remus Smith came back on the field. He was on for less than a minute. It was his first touch of the ball since returning, and he scores in the corner. And boy, did he let everyone know about it too. That was fabulous. Oh, that's a disastrous play the ball. That might be the worst play the ball you've ever seen in the history of play the balls. He's not happy there. Alec McDonald, he's obviously taken some sort of head whack. Oh, and it's him again. Pia Cora, not for the first time tonight, a shoulder to the face, and this is going to be a penalty to the Storm. They've challenged it so that we get the replay, and not for the first time, not for the second time, but potentially the third time tonight. Pia Cora is going to be on report, and this is a clear penalty. Pia Cora, that is the second time, shoulder contact to the face. He's going to be on report for a third time tonight. And somehow he's still on the field. Remus Smith gets sent for 10 minutes for a second effort tackle. Pia Cora gets to shoulder guys in the face on no less than 2 occasions and remains on the field. I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me at all. Geez, surely you take the 2 points here. They've not, though. They've gone into touch. I understand the theory, though. The concept here is keep the ball down this end of the field for the next 5 minutes. No sin bin. I can't believe it. 3 times he's been placed on report and he's still on the field. He's taken over from Flegler tonight. Flegler's behaved himself. Thomas Flegler's behaved himself tonight when he's had the captaincy. 6 again. Storm, they can really put this game to bed now. I mean, well and truly. Another full set of 6 incoming. That guy's underwear looks like a rainbow paddle pop. Wishart stepping. Taken by Flegler. Yeah, but Michelle, there's something about Flegler behaving, whether he has to or not, that I wasn't buying. He just handed it all over to Pia Cora. He said, now, Brandon, mate, I've got to try my best to behave myself out there tonight because I've got the C against my name. You go out there and do all the damage. And that is exactly what Melbourne are doing here. They are just keeping the Broncos pinned down here. 3 minutes 40 to go. Broncos starting their set a metre out from their own line. They have to score twice. The last 10 minutes, 88% possession to the Melbourne Storm. They have just dominated the back end of both halves. Oh, and now the error. They cough up the ball, and that is game, set, match. Game, set, match there. All over. Big mistake coming out of territory. Shack of Heart says it's quite uncharacteristic because I was under the impression Pia Corda was a clean player. Well, that's what I'm saying, Shack of Hearts. I reckon maybe Flegler's given him the license and said, look, somebody needs to bring the mongrel. I'm not allowed to bring it tonight because I'm the captain. I crown you honorary Flegler for the night. And he's gone and got himself on report 3 times, just like Thomas Flegler. Melbourne keep this record alive at Suncorp, where they have not lost for about 74 years. 2.5 minutes to go. Can they bag another one? 6 again. Oh, he's over, and that's a try. Another try for the Storm, and they have ended up winning this quite convincingly. Oh, he's gone up as no try. Wishart has been brilliant. Wishart's almost player of the game for mine. Burrowing from dummy half here. Melbourne, he's over the line. He's over the line. There's hands under the ball. There's... Oh, has he done enough? It's gone up as no try from Ashley Klein, so it might be hard to award this one. Yes, Garlic has lost the ball. Absolutely, Shack of Hearts, a full-strength Storm. Are a red-hot chance next week should they play the Broncos. It's going to be very interesting, though. This result has really made the rest of the weekend quite intriguing indeed. The Panthers will be watching that Warriors-Dolphins game quite closely because that will be where the ultimate call happens, I suspect. If the Warriors win, they go back above the Storm into 3rd spot. So I believe if that happens, the Panthers will rest everyone and the Cowboys will win. Should the Dolphins beat the Warriors and remain in 4th spot, then I reckon the Panthers go all out for the win against the Cowboys to try and claim the minor premiership. You would much prefer to come up against the Warriors, and I'm sorry, Warriors supporters, but you would much prefer to come up against the Warriors in week 1 of the finals than the Melbourne Storm. It's that simple. So should that all eventuate, I definitely reckon Melbourne a red-hot chance in week 1 of the finals. Cut-out pass will put the Broncos. Corey Oates will score. Oh, it's called forward. It's a forward pass. Oh, it was about to be another leg on the multi, but it doesn't matter. Forward pass is called. It's all pretty irrelevant. Neither side really even wants to pack the scrum down here. Inside the last minute. Neither team in a rush to get this restarted. It's been a fantastic game. Broncos and Storm again next week. So, Steph, stay funny, Steph. What has happened now? With this victory, Melbourne have jumped above the Warriors into 3rd spot. Maybe temporarily. The Warriors and Dolphins play on Saturday at 3 p.m. Should the Dolphins win, the Warriors will stay in 4th, the Storm will stay in 3rd, and it will all come down to the Panthers-Cowboys game. If the Panthers win, they'll go to top. If the Cowboys win, the Panthers will stay in 2nd. And there is the siren. So, yeah, there's still a lot of different scenarios we could have for the rest of this weekend. But Melbourne, reserve grade team against reserve grade team. They've done their job. A 10-point victory Melbourne Storm, they leapfrog the Warriors into third spot. It's all over to the Warriors now. What can they come up with on Saturday? But before that, much before Saturday, we have got a blockbuster coming up tomorrow. Rabbitohs Roosters in what is essentially a knockout match. Even if the Roosters win, they're not guaranteed of staying in the 8, I believe. But it's essentially a knockout match. Definitely for the Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs Roosters tomorrow, right here on the Wasted World of Sports. It is going to be an absolute cracker of a contest. I can't wait for it. Game of the round for sure, you would expect. Although now we've gone and jinxed it. God damn it. We've gone and jinxed it now. The game's going to suck. It's going to be an absolute schmozzling for somebody. No, it's definitely shaping up to be game of the round. Rabbitohs, Roosters coming up tomorrow. I will probably do the Sea Eagles Tigers game as well. Just because why not? Why not? Halftime score, Benjamin. Halftime score, I believe, was Melbourne 14, Broncos 12. But yeah, it should be a cracker of a game tomorrow. I'll do both games tomorrow, as I said. Why not? Sea Eagles, Tigers, Rabbitohs, Roosters, a blockbuster Friday night footy right here on the Wasted World of Sports. Thank you so much for your company. As always, very much appreciate it. It's always a lot of fun. We'll catch you tomorrow for both games. And then, of course, a big, big Super Saturday as well coming up. I'll be doing all games on Saturday as well. Dolphins, Warriors, Panthers, Cowboys, and I've got to do Dragons, Knights because last week I made a very bold prediction, didn't I? I predicted after the Knights absolutely spanked my team off the park, I made a bold prediction that the Dragons would beat the Knights. So I kind of have to watch that game. I hope that you all listened to me and put money on her nice and early and got some great value on the Dragons to win that one. I hope you were paying attention. So I've got to cover that game just to see if it comes to fruition. And then we finish things up on Sunday with the Sharks Raiders. I really, really, really couldn't be stuffed doing the Titans Bulldogs game. But I'll definitely do the Sharks Raiders game. Because the Raiders will be playing for their playoffs berth. The Sharks are already in. The Sharks would have to absolutely get pasted by about 100 points to drop out of the 8. They're already in the top 8, so it's the Raiders with everything to play for. All right, Wasted World of Sports, thank you so much for your company as always. It's been a lot of fun. It was a great game, not so much for Broncos supporters, but definitely for the Melbourne Storm, keeping this electric record alive at Suncorp Stadium. I'll catch you tomorrow, Friday night footy, both games right here. Until then, cheers. Hopefully see you all again tomorrow. Catch you next time. His ass is hanging out as he makes a break upfield. Stepping back. Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Cameron Munster's now putting his balls in Nick Meaney's face.
I have no idea what the Wasted World of Sports is.